Alright guys, good morning. It's the 27th of September 2024 and we are doing the review of yesterday's game, Road to 2000 day number 10. Alright guys, so yeah, apologies for yesterday. We had the camera not set up so you couldn't see 4 squares on the chessboard, but we rectified that with doing another video with the camera set up right, and then we just played the YouTube playback, and then I moved the pieces in time with the pieces being moved on the video. So without further ado, we're going to review yesterday's game. So we started off as playing as black, and the surprising thing is when I had it on negative effect, the white pieces became black and the black pieces became white, just to confuse everything. But my mindset is there's no colour in chess, so whether you're black or white, you can play Larsen's opening in chess and it's kind of reverses everything. But the only thing is you can't, you can't castle on one of the sides because the queen is in the way because you haven't moved the queen yet. So yeah, that's more in depth, but we'll get into that one day. And so this is all copyright free background music, and all YouTube says is that it's not playable in some territories. But without further ado then, so Dave's played e4 and we went Scandinavian. Just going through the motions then. And what was it? I played a move. Should have played knight c6 here or knight f6, but I went bishop g4 too early, so the bishop came out to defend. Now played knight c6, but I brought the queen back. Then they had knight e5. They had knight e5 here, and I would have just taken. And then if the queen takes, knight c6, and then they have knight takes c6, b takes c6, they castle, and then we've got e6. So just to show, Fritz is saying the white is slightly better in this position, but we came back. So yeah, just this move order: bishop e2, queen takes e2, knight c6, knight takes c6, b takes c6, castles e6. But instead we did bishop takes f3. They had knight c6 instead of taking the knight here, so could have played a developing move to start with. Why is the engine? We want it on foot 16. Let's go. I don't know why it changed there, but anyway, bishop takes f3, knight c6, bishop takes c6, b takes c6, and c3, because they were thinking about, instead of c3, they've got queen f3 attacking c6 there, yeah. So let me just go back to that. So we would have played queen d5 and then queen b3. Okay, what if we take? A takes b3. They've got an open file now. Well, I wonder about not casting queenside, but developing knight f6, e6, and then the bishop c5 maybe. Yeah, so that was a line, so we can look at that maybe. What's instead of taking the queen, e6. Okay, white is slightly better. So instead we played knight f6 after c3, after eyeing down the queen to come to a4 and threaten the check with queen takes c6 potentially. But they were backing up for d4, control of the centre. So we anticipated that, just carried on developing, building up our centre with e6. Then we had knight d2, knight bd2, bishop e7. What they're saying here, c5. So what if c5 they take? Bishop takes c5. Okay, still a bit open here. They've got a check there. Queen d7. Are they going to take? Knight takes, king takes. Well, get the king involved early on, get the rooks connected. Yeah, so that was an option. So we played knight f d4, e6, knight d2, bishop e7. There is c5, d takes e5, just to go through the motions, a potential line. But we didn't play c5, we played bishop e7, knight f3, and then knight d7, because we knew that the knight wanted to come here to take and attack the pawn on c6, and then back up with here as well. So there was always that in mind. That was what I was thinking at the time. So that's why I came back. Bishop f4, and then queen b8 is an option here to defend the pawn on c7, right? Or we've got queen c8 simply. Don't really want to play the rook because then the rook's blocked in, isn't it? So I wanted to get the dark square bishop off the board, so I played bishop d6. They didn't want that, so they played bishop e3. That's fine. Then I was thinking I need to get the knight here to go here and here. Sorry, excuse the arrow. I'm getting a bit arrow happy. But then that was anticipated because there wasn't a full outpost here, but it was just an idea, wasn't it? So we went knight f6, queen a4, queen castle. Should have castled here. Okay, but don't they get a pawn? And we've got queen b8. Oh, we're attacking here, are we? c4. What's rook f to b1? Queen c3. Yeah. So queen a4. I defended the pawn with queen d7. Well, white is clearly better here because they have knight e5 now, which they play rook a d1. And it says here knight e5 is the precise move to win, is it? And how's that then? What's wrong with that? D takes e5. Knight comes here. Rook a to d1. Castle. c4. I had this in mind, didn't I? Okay. Oh, bishop takes f6, yeah. So that's that. Well, the move order that we did, the knight wasn't able to be taken by the bishop, so we'll just get to that. So that's a win there. Knight e5, which they didn't play, which is fine. So they played rook a d1. Oh, so we did castle, yeah, because I wanted to connect the rooks. That was it. The knight came. So I was like, I can't have a knight here, so we took. But white has a decisive advantage here. Okay, that's fine. I came across because I thought I'd lost the queen here. I was like, oh no. So the knight, I was like, yes. And then I was like, oh no again, because the c pawn, right, can take the knight with the next push. So bishop c5 against queen e7. Bishop c5 first. So then I had a tactic to defend. Then that was played, c4, and then knight b6. Oh, they would have just simply taken, but what was wrong with that then? Oh, the queen covers it, you see, the queen. Yeah, I hadn't. Yeah, so the queen just comes back. Sorry, excuse me. So, like I said in the game, I was very lucky there. I've been so lucky in these last couple of games. Much less strong is bishop e7. When? Move 22, hold on. Much less strong is bishop e7. Oh, okay. So bishop d4. Oh, knight b d7. They had bishop e7, then rook e8. Hold on. Bishop e7, rook e8. Then what they're saying? Okay, rook e8. Bishop b4. What about a5? Knight takes e5. Oh, okay, so that was less stronger. So they played the right move then, didn't they? So let me just go back to our game. Bishop d4 was played then. c5. Right, so we came across knight b d6. So we was lucky there. They came back with queen c2. Okay, rook d7. Knight takes a4. This is the line I was hoping for now. Rook takes d8. Rook takes d8. And then bishop takes a7. Knight takes b2. f4. That's the line that I was hoping for. That's what I had in plan. That's why I brought the knight across to attack the queen. But they missed bishop takes the knight. Let's just go through that again then. Knight b d6. Can I add another line on? Does it say rook takes d7? No. Yeah, there we go. So slight advantage to black. The cross with the two lines above. So yeah, that's rook takes d7, knight takes queen, rook takes d8, rook takes d8, bishop takes a7, rook, knight takes b2. I wonder if they'd do this. Hold on, not that, sorry, cancel that. Push here, wouldn't they? No, because they've trapped their bishop. Come back. What are they saying here though? f4. Yep, okay, f4. Oh yeah, f4. That makes sense. Just take the lines off. So queen c2 was played. We had queen. We played queen c8. b3 to complete the pawn chain there. Knight d7 because I was attacking the bishop and the pawn on e5. Bishop d4 to defend the pawn. So then I was like, oh, I need to get here to here. Okay, so c5 attacking the bishop. Bishop c3. c6. And then queen e2. What was the purpose of queen e2 though? Oh, just the extra defender on there, isn't it? There, that makes sense then. I didn't see that at the time. I was just like concentrating on where the knight needs to go now. So knight f8, f4 was played. Queen b7. Yes, because I wanted to get the knights off the rooks off the board. So queen f2, attacking c5, rook takes d1, rook takes d1, knight d7 to defend c5, g4, pawn push, rook d8. So sorry, move 28. We had h6. f5, knight f8, queen takes c5, queen c7, f takes e6 is a strong threat. Yeah, remember when I said I don't want this file open? So that's why I left it. That's why I left it. Simply because I would have got ripped apart. So we went queen c8. Oh, instead of queen c8 you had rook a8, rook d3 and queen c7. Oh, okay, bishop a5, queen d2 check. Oh, so it's not check, it's just the plus and the minus, saying it's slight advantage for white. Then if that's right, I'll have to do some research again, learn the plus and the minus. Okay, queen d2 is more deadly, so white is winning here, right? So we had queen c8, bishop a5, and then we played knight b6, and then that brought it down to 0.77. Let me just bring the move down. They had rook to e8 instead. Okay, so knight bd6, instead you could have played rook to e8, but not. Okay, so knight bd6, so instead of queen e2, not 31, rook takes d8, queen takes d8, king g2, queen takes c5, queen d1 check, the position is equal, king f2, queen takes g4, queen d1. White should play rook d6 instead of, oh, rook d6. E takes f5, queen takes c5, rook takes d6, pawn takes d6, queen takes f5, g takes f5, king f8, bishop e1, g6, king g2. I'm just looking to get when it's saying get over to the pawn on d6, bishop f2, and then king d7. So it's white slightly better, so there is that. So go back to move 31. Queen e2 was played. I just wanted to simplify and get the rooks off the board. So rook takes d1 check, queen takes d1, and then queen d7, offering the exchange there. Queen d6. So I was like, fine. Queen takes d7, knight takes d7, bishop c7. That's what I was hoping for. That's the position if they'd taken the exchange of the queens. So it was the king bishop king knight endgame with queen takes d6, e takes d6 endgame, bishop knight, sorry, king bishop king knight, knight d7 to black should try king f8 instead. Really? I'll just tempo move then, isn't it? King f2 and then f6. Sorry, king f8, king. So here, black should try king f8 on move 34. Okay. Okay, f takes e6. New variation. F takes e6. King f2. And we're just going to go. Okay, then we'll play knight d7. Oh, I see. It opens up here, you see. Fantastic. Okay, so it was queen takes d6, e takes d6. Knight takes d7, king f2, f6. I wanted to. Oh, it's my way of getting the king up, you see. Hold on. It was my way of just getting the king. Yeah, that was why I played f6. I didn't see a threat. But then if they play this. Hold on. White is clearly winning. So they missed that, did they? Oh my life. Did I honestly play that? Knight d7. I played f6, so oh my life. F takes e6. Hold on, knight d7. King f2, f6. F takes e3, knight f8, e7, king f7. Oh, right. Mate in 80, mate in 77, mate in 80, mate in 20. So Ian, you've got through by the skin of your teeth. But it's all what's the saying? It's all said well and done or something. I can't think of the saying now. Oh, it'll come to me. And when you got 15 minutes and the clock's ticking down, your brain's not thinking the way this line thinks, is it? King e3. So let's go back to f6. They missed that. It's all said well and good, is it? Is that the saying? Right, king f7, king e4, and then g6. h4, g takes f5 check, g takes f5 check, e takes f5. So instead e5 was necessary. Was it really? Oh, it forces the king back, so you got a tempo move there. Okay, bishop e1, h5. Right, so e takes f5, king takes f5, knight takes a5, bishop c7. h5, so that was it. I was limiting the king to here, and he was having to come back here. So we played bishop d8 was played, attacking the pawn, so we had to bring the knight back to d7. We had knight g4 as well, but I wanted to come back here. Knight g4 keeps fighting. Oh, right, okay then. Because if d7, knight h6 check, king e4, king e6. Oh, I see. Bishop a5, a6. Hang on, 40. What are they saying? Knight e5 is better. Oh, hang on. So knight e5 might work better. Bishop c7, king e8. Right, king d8. We just lost a. So what's it saying there? Knight f3. d7 check. How did we miss that? Hold on. It's got here brackets 43, move 43 after bishop a5. Instead of a6, knight e5 works better, might work better. Okay, so bishop c7, king e8, king takes f6. Oh, it might, it only might. King takes d7, then bishop g3, knight d2, king g6. It says white has a decisive advantage. Well, I don't see how knight e5 is better than a6 in that position, but oh well. Okay, a3, knight b8, b4. White has a decisive advantage here. C takes b4, a takes b4, knight d7, c5. Okay, move 47, bishop d8, strongly threatening c5. So let's have a look at that. So instead of knight, a takes b4, what was it saying? Sorry, in c takes b4, a takes b4, knight d7, bishop d8, strongly threatening c5. Okay, see, c5, b takes c5, knight takes c5, bishop takes f6, king e8, king g6, knight e4, bishop e5, king d7, king takes h5, knight f2c. Okay, so they played c5, knight e5, king e4, so that was the window. They should have played bishop b6 here. Okay, and it's still saying white is clearly better, but king equalizes, so we play king e6 is equal. Sorry, excuse me. And then bishop d8, attacking here again. King f4, good. Is it a good move? Knight g6 is more appropriate. Is it really? So bishop d8, king g6. Oh yeah, we could win the pawn on h4. Oh wow. Okay, so we played knight d7, king f4, knight f8, bishop e7, knight g6 check. Black is clearly winning. So yeah, king g3, knight takes e7, d takes e7, king pawn ending, but we have the pass pawn. We have on an open file, and the king just has to march home. So yeah, king f4 was played, king e6, king e4. This is textbook stuff now. f5, great move with the check. King f4. You can go king d5 or king f6 here. We went king f6, king e3, king e5, king f3, f4, e2, king to e4, king d2, mate in 11 now. King f3, king d3, king g2, king e4, and we're just hoping for f2. King e5, aiming for f6 check. Oh, we came down here though. Yeah, second move. Well, it's mate in 14. If you go king f3, it's mate in 12. Right, okay. So check. Just going through the moves now. Mop up the pawn. King's moved. Check. King's forced back. King c5. a5. Brilliant, mate in 8. So yeah, I was very lucky there. Day 10. Road to 2000 Rooks and Hooks. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, follow, tell your friends, family. Rooks and Hooks, day 10. Come on down.